Okay, this is going to be video number 6, part B. We're going to add the button, but we've already made it. So now we're on part 3, writing the script to make the button work. So we're down on process number 2, action script. All right, so we're going to click in frame number 1 of the topmost layer, which should be already named the action layer. This was from long ago. All right, from the Windows menu, we're going to choose Actions, and this should bring up the Action panel. We're going to click next to 1, which is a line number, in the window. Yours may not have a 1, but we want to make sure we click at the very top. The first thing you're going to do is type the word stop, followed by an open close parentheses and a semicolon. All right, one of the things you need to learn about scripting for ActionScript, and if you ever do much computer programming, you're going to find a lot of programming languages end each functional line of code with a semicolon. We're going to see that not all lines end in a semicolon, but we'll talk about that. Then you're going to type a return, which will get us to a new line, and you're going to type go_btn period. Let's do something here. Ignore. There we go. All right, so type a return, and then we're going to type go_btn dot on release. The R in release is capitalized, and that's very important, equals function open close paren, and then you're going to type a return, an open curly brace, another return, and then you're going to type go to and play to. All right, go to is all lowercase. The A and the P, as in and play, are capitalized. You have an open parentheses, a number 2, a closed parentheses, and a semicolon. And then you're going to type another return. Notice that a lot of this list is returns. And then finally you're going to type a closed curly brace and save. At this point you should test your movie, and if you wait a few minutes we'll do this. All right, in frame 65 of the action layer you want to place a new keyframe, and in the action panel, the action panel, you want to click on the line 1, and we're going to type stop, open close paren, and semicolon. You're going to save and test. Whoa. So this is going to be lots of saving and testing. Then in frame 65 of the action layer, we want to type a return after the semicolon. So that's the stop, open close paren, semicolon. After the semicolon, we're going to type another return, and then we're going to type go button. Should have ignored all of those. We're going to type go_btn dot on release equals function. Ooh, yet again. And then we're going to hit a return, an open curly brace, then go to and stop. Notice that that's different. We're going to go to and stop on number 1. So we want it to go back to the beginning and then stop, and then a closed curly brace, and save and test. All right, let's go to, where are we? There we go. Let's go to Flash. All right. I'll explain some of the reasons we did some of these as we go along. So we have our action layer. We need to unlock it. We ought to make sure that the button layer is locked. and our action layer is unlocked, we're going to click in the keyframe in frame number 1, go to Window, and now we want the Actions panel. Alright, and here it is. Make sure that it says ActionScript 1.0 and 2.0. That's what we want. Now, because of the way I have my the way my Flash is configured, I get line numbers. If you don't, I will have gone over this in class. Alright, notice that it's blinking next to the number 1. So there we go. I'm going to click in it just to make sure. You may find that sometimes things don't happen quite as one would hope. So the first thing we want to do is type in stop. Notice that the STOR black, when I put in P, it turns color. I do an open close paren and a semicolon. Alright, this says that this is a reserved word, which means I can't use it for other things, but we don't really care. So I type a return, I get a line number 2, and I want to go underscore btn dot on, and notice that when I type on, I get a drop down menu, and if I type the R, I get release, and so I simply hit the return key and it types itself in, and again that's in red. So I'm going to type in equals function. I'm going to hit a return, an open curly brace, and a return, and notice that it indents. And so I want to go to and play to, and I want to do that. Alright, so notice that I typed a semicolon after the stop and a semicolon after the go to and play. That's because though these are actually executable layers, this is saying what is going to be doing the acting. So notice that the go underscore btn is the instance name of our button. So this is the name that ActionScript knows it as. And so this says I want to look at this button when it is released, not when it's pressed, but when it's released. I'm going to execute the function that says go to and play, and the 2 is a frame number, so it's going to go to frame 2. So I want to save this, and now I'm going to go to Control and Test Movie, or I can do Command Return. Alright, so strangely enough, everything is stopped. And if I click the button, there the boom. And now it comes back to number 1, frame number 1, and because there is an automatic stop there, everything comes to a halt. Alright, so that gets my button to play. But what I want to do also is come out to frame 65, and yes, we're actually in frame 65, and I want to insert, there we go, insert into the timeline a keyframe. There we go, there's my keyframe. Now notice that having opened the Actions panel, it's on my effectively layer of panels that includes properties and other things. If yours does not come up, you can always come back and do that. Alright, again, we want stop, open close parentheses, semicolon, return, go underscore btn dot on release. Now I choose on release as opposed to on press, just in case the user changes their mind. If you have on press, then the minute you press down on your mouse, the action will be executed. On release means I can click on it drag away, release, and nothing will happen. So that's just my way of doing things. So I want to have a function. This time I want to go to and stop at frame number 1. And then I want to end that. All right, so now this will stop when it gets to the end, and I can send it back to the beginning. So I want to, all right, I already saved that, good for me. And so Command, Enter. Notice that the Go button is underneath the electrophoresis gel. Ooh, it came to a stop, and I can click on this again, and it takes me back to the beginning. All right. This ends part B, and in actuality I'm going to have a part C that will be hopefully some things to help you in case you have problems as we go along, and I'll explain that. So there we go. End of part B.